with Hispanics, but I've had really great relationship with Puerto Rico and people from Puerto Rico. They love, every time I go outside, I see somebody from Puerto Rico. They give me a hug and a kiss.
Donald Trump concluded a disastrous day of campaigning tonight in an interview with Hannity that went as well as you would expect, considering whenever Donald Trump opens his mouth, that is bound to backfire. And that is exactly what happened tonight, because Donald Trump doubled down on one of the most damaging decisions that has been made in his entire campaign. And you can see the shock on Hannity's face when Donald Trump says what he does, because it was such a tremendous mistake, and we are going to get into all that. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way, and it really means a lot to me. Now let's get into some of this ridiculous interview.
Are a little bit more aggressive. Our country is a crime-ridden country. When they go into department stores and they strip the store, and our police are standing out there wanting to do their job, but they're told, stand down, don't touch anybody. And they're walking out with refrigerators, and they're walking out with air conditioners. And there's hundreds of...
They let them walk.
Some new fake fear-mongering stories for Donald Trump. They're coming for your air conditioners. They're coming for your appliances. They're going to steal them. They're stealing them. The police can't do anything. This is Donald Trump's closing message. It is scattered. It is weird. It is conspiratorial. It doesn't know what it wants to do. All it knows is it wants to fear-monger. It's the only thing Trump really can do at this point in the campaign, when he can string together enough words to kind of be coherent. And all he can do is fearmonger. All he can do is attack. It's what we see right here.
And yet they do it. Maybe it's because they want to destroy the country. I don't know.
Or gender-affirming care for minors.
Sure.
Care without parental consent.
So a young man leaves for school and goes to school, and the authority takes him over without parental consent, and they do things to him that you don't want to know about? I mean, is this supposed to be America? I don't think so.
That doesn't sound
These people are radical people, and let me tell you, she's not a smart person. She's a low IQ individual. I've said it for a long time. She speaks so slowly, everything's so slow. She thinks of answers. They ask her a question. She talks about she was grown up with a lawn growing on her front yard. Everything is like crazy. 60 Minutes.
More disgusting transphobia from Donald Trump. It has become really central to his campaign at this point. It is the ad that they have spent the most money on in swing states, is fear-mongering about trans Americans. It is just so gross, and shows that Donald Trump is willing to attack anyone for political gain. It's always been his focus is to attack and divide and to lie and spread fear. And of course that comes along with a lot of conspiracy theories about the Biden-Harris administration. One really stupid one can be seen right here.
We would have been supplying oil and gas to China, to all of Asia, it's Alaska, to Japan. It would have been unbelievable. We would have been paying down debt. He comes in and he rejects it because the environmentalists reject it. It has nothing to do with the environment. It's good for the environment.
When you say...
It is no surprise that Donald Trump will try to make an argument when all the facts are to the contrary of what he is trying to say. But we were not energy independent under Donald Trump, and we are now for the first time in half a century under the Biden-Harris administration. So I don't know what this talk about not producing enough oil is. Donald Trump loves to talk about energy because no one ever pushes back when he says he'll cut prices in half and he doesn't give a reason. Then he says that'll fix the economy entirely, which doesn't need fixing entirely. None of these things. He explains he's just confused. He's rambling. We see more of that rambling right here.
But if the ocean rises 1/8 of an inch over the next 500 years, we'll handle that. What we don't want is global warming of the nuclear variety, and that could happen tomorrow.
It's pretty funny to see Donald Trump fear-mongering about nuclear war when his own generals and members of his own party who have still endorsed him, but they don't think he should have the nuclear codes, like Marco Rubio, who I always bring up, who's campaigning with Donald Trump today, but still doesn't think he should have the nuclear codes because he knows he is too dangerous, and I think that should scare us. I think that's a pretty telltale sign that Donald Trump is unfit, and he is also unfit because of those he wants to surround himself with. Listen to what he said about Elon Musk.
Role for Elon Musk.
So Elon has a lot of roles he could take because he's a very exceptional guy. But he has a thing. He feels there's such waste, fraud, and abuse in our budgets, and he's right.
I cannot think of a worse combination than Trump and Elon, not just for the rhetoric, not for just the anger, but the cringe as well. Just Elon, such a weirdo. We saw him at MSG, horrible public speaker. Not that that makes him a bad person. There's a lot of other things that makes him a bad person, but gosh, I just cannot imagine those two together. Can't imagine a lot worse than that. What I can actually imagine is a lot worse than that is the picture that Donald Trump tried to paint in this clip right here.
With Hispanics, but I've had really great relationship with Puerto Rico and people from Puerto Rico. They love, every time I go outside, I see somebody from Puerto Rico. They give me a hug and a kiss.
So this is the point where the interview really begins to turn when Donald Trump tries to fix the disgusting comments made by the comedian on Sunday at Madison Square Garden with his comments about Puerto Rico. And of course, Donald Trump does what he always does first, which is lie and come up with the story. Oh, people come up, they hug me, they kiss me, they love me earlier today. We saw he was the best president in history for Puerto Rico, an absolute lie. Of course, nothing surprising for Donald Trump, but what was really bad is when he doubled down on the comments that were made right here.
I don't even know if you were there for the whole thing. I don't know what time you got there. I was told and made aware that you had no idea about this comedian who made comments.
I have no idea who he is. Somebody said there was a comedian that joked about Puerto Rico or something, and I have no idea who he was. Never saw him, never heard of him, and don't want to hear of him. But I have no idea. They put a comedian in, which everybody does. You throw comedians in. You don't vet them and go crazy. It's nobody's fault. But somebody said some bad things. Now, what they've done is taken somebody that has nothing to do with the party, has nothing to do with us, said something, and they try and make a big deal. But I don't know who it is. I don't even know who put him in. And I can't imagine it's a big deal. I've done more for Puerto Rico than any president, I think, that's ever been president.
So Donald Trump's response to comments made by that comedian that have become a complete crisis for his campaign is it's not a big deal. First, of course, he has to say, oh, I don't know who that guy is. I've never heard of him. I never heard anything. He said that's what J.D. Vance has still been trying to say. Oh, I didn't hear it. I don't know what you're talking about. But Trump says it's not a big deal. Well, it is a big deal. Donald, you're about to find out actually how big a deal it is at the ballot box. And he continued to try to make his defense this clip right here.
I was there handing out food. I got in trouble for that too because we were having fun. We had a lot of people, and I was throwing paper towels to the back. They were all having fun. Everybody, and the fake news came. Oh, that was very disrespectful to be throwing towels. No, I have unbelievable good relationship with Puerto Rico and the Puerto Rican people.
So Donald Trump thinks that his inadequate response to Hurricane Maria and the damage done to Puerto Rico was fun because he got to throw paper towels. Yeah, that's what it was fun. I'm sure it was fun for the people there who died. The families affected a community that had to rebuild because you got to throw around paper towels. Really? This guy, come on, this guy. This is who we want to be, our leader. This isn't a leader. A leader sounds like VP Harris right here.
As Commander-in-Chief, I will make sure America has the strongest, most lethal fighting force in the world. Donald Trump, on the other hand, has shown his contempt for our nation's heroes, calls them suckers and losers. called a 4-star Marine general a, quote, lowlife. I will always honor, never denigrate, the service and sacrifice of our troops and their families, and fulfill our sacred obligation to care for them. I will strengthen, not surrender, America's global leadership. And I will stand with our friends because I know that our alliances keep American people safe and make America stronger and more secure. Look, world leaders think that Donald Trump is an easy mark. Easy to manipulate with flattery or favor. And you can believe that autocrats like Putin and Kim Jong-un are rooting for him in this election. I will always uphold our security, advance our national interest, and ensure that the United States of America remains, as we must forever be, a champion of liberty around the world.
Donald Trump has attacked our military and cozied up to dictators' talks about the enemy from within, but revels and loves the enemy from outside. It's the reason why he is fine with Puerto Rico being attacked by some wannabe comedian at his rally, because he doesn't care about Americans. He just wants to fear monger for his own gain. He wants to continue to live in this state of division and anger and fear that benefits him politically. Cam Har, she wants to move forward like she said, right here.
What Donald Trump has never understood is that e pluribus unum, out of many one, isn't just a phrase on a dollar bill. It is a living truth about the heart of our nation. Our democracy doesn't require us to agree on everything. In fact, we like good arguments from time to time. Just think of your own family, right? It's not the American way to not have disagreements. We don't shy away from robust debate. In fact, we like a good debate, don't we? We like a good debate. And the fact that someone disagrees with us does not make them the enemy within. That's right. They are family, neighbors, classmates, co-workers. They are fellow Americans. And as Americans, we rise and fall together. America, for too long, we have been consumed with too much division, chaos, and mutual distrust. And it can be easy then to forget a simple truth. It doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to be this way. It is time to stop pointing fingers. We have to stop pointing fingers and start locking arms. It is time to turn the page on the drama and the conflict, the fear and division. It is time for a new generation of leadership in America. And I am ready to offer that leadership as the next President of the United States of America.
What a great closing message of the campaign. What an important message we need moving forward to a better future where we can actually unite. That's what I'm getting behind. And that's what we're going to be talking about on this show every single day. And if you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button. You can leave a like on this video. And if you're stuck around at the end, you can drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you soon.